The first hour after you wake up determines the quality of your entire day. Not the second hour, not the afternoon, not the evening. The first hour. The moment you open your eyes and decide what to do next, you're either building your mind or destroying it. You're either setting yourself up for success or programming yourself for mediocrity. And most people? Most people destroy their minds before they even get out of bed. They reach for their phone, they scroll through social media, they fill their mind with other people's opinions, other people's problems, other people's lives. They start their day in reaction mode instead of creation mode. They let the world program their mind instead of programming it themselves. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, overwhelmed, unfocused, and unmotivated. They wonder why they can't seem to get ahead, why they can't seem to build the life they want, why every day feels like they're just surviving instead of thriving. It's because they're not building their mind. They're letting it be built by whatever random stimulus comes their way. Listen to me very carefully. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant what you want to grow, weeds will grow automatically. If you don't intentionally fill your mind with thoughts, ideas, and energy that serve you, it will be filled with thoughts, ideas, and energy that destroy you. And the most critical time to plant the right seeds is in the morning, because the state of your mind in the first hour determines the state of your mind for the rest of the day. Let me tell you what successful people do differently. They don't wake up and immediately check what the world wants from them. They don't start their day scrolling, reacting, consuming. They build their mind first. They program themselves for success before they do anything else. They understand something fundamental that most people never learn. You cannot win the day if you lose the morning. The morning is when your mind is most receptive. When you wake up, your brain is in a state between sleep and full consciousness. Your subconscious is still accessible. Your mental defenses are down. Whatever you feed your mind in this state goes deep. It sets the tone. It creates the framework for everything that follows. So what are you feeding it? Negativity? Drama? Other people's problems? Emails and messages demanding your attention? News designed to make you afraid and angry? Or are you feeding it empowerment, growth, vision, focus, the thoughts and ideas that make you stronger, clearer, more capable? Because I promise you, the difference between people who achieve extraordinary things and people who stay stuck isn't talent, it's not luck, it's not circumstances. It's what they do in the first hour of every single day. Successful people build their minds every morning. They treat that first hour as sacred. They protect it. They use it to become mentally stronger, more focused, more aligned with their goals. They program themselves for success before the world can program them for distraction. And unsuccessful people? They give that hour away. They let their phones steal it. They let other people's needs steal it. They let news and social media and everything else steal it. And then they spend the rest of the day playing catch-up, reacting, trying to create momentum from a depleted mental state. You can't build an extraordinary life from a weak mind, and you can't build a strong mind if you're not intentional about building it every single morning. So what does it mean to build your mind every morning? Let me break it down for you. First, it means you don't touch your phone, not for the first hour, not for 30 minutes, not at all until you've done the work of building your mind. I know that's hard. I know you think you need to check messages, emails, everything that happened while you were sleeping, but you don't. The world can wait 1 hour. Your mental strength cannot. Every time you reach for your phone first thing in the morning, you're telling yourself that what's on that screen is more important than what's in your mind. You're saying that reacting to other people's needs is more important than building your own mental foundation. And over time, that habit destroys you. It makes you reactive instead of proactive. It makes you anxious instead of peaceful. It makes you scattered instead of focused. So rule number 1, no phone. Not until you've built your mind.
Second, building your mind means feeding it the right input.
This could be reading. This could be listening to something that empowers you. This could be writing down your goals, your vision, your intentions for the day. The key is that it's intentional. You're choosing what goes into your mind instead of letting random input choose for you. When I wake up, the first thing I do is read for at least 20 minutes. Not news, not social media, books. Books about growth, about business, about mindset, about anything that makes me think bigger and better. And in those 20 minutes, I'm programming my mind. I'm filling it with ideas that expand my thinking. I'm planting seeds that will grow throughout the day. I'm setting a foundation of knowledge and inspiration that everything else builds on. You could read. You could listen to audiobooks or podcasts. You could watch educational content. The medium doesn't matter as much as the intention. You're building your mind. You're making yourself mentally stronger. Third, building your mind means moving your body. Physical movement wakes up your brain. It increases blood flow. It releases chemicals that make you feel good and think clearly. You don't need to run a marathon. You don't need to spend 2 hours in the gym. You just need to move. 20 minutes of exercise, a walk, some stretching, anything that gets your body active. Because your mind and body are connected. You cannot have a strong mind in a stagnant body. When you move your body first thing in the morning, you're telling your mind, we're awake, we're active, we're ready to take on the day. Fourth, building your mind means setting your intentions. Before you dive into the chaos of the day, you need to be clear about what you're trying to accomplish. What are your priorities today? What are the 3 most important things you need to do? What kind of person do you want to be today? How do you want to show up? Most people never ask these questions. They just react to whatever comes at them. And as a result, they spend their entire day being busy but not productive, active but not effective, working but not building. But when you set your intentions in the morning, when you get crystal clear about what matters and who you want to be, everything changes. You become focused instead of scattered. You become intentional instead of reactive. You become someone who shapes their day instead of someone whose day shapes them. I spend 5 minutes every morning writing down my 3 priorities, just 3 things. The 3 things that if I accomplish them will make today a success. And then I visualize myself completing them. I see it. I feel it. I program my mind for success. And you know what happens? I accomplish those 3 things. Not because I'm special, because I programmed my mind for them in the morning. Finally, building your mind means practicing gratitude. Before you start chasing more, before you start thinking about everything you don't have, you need to acknowledge what you do have. Gratitude rewires your brain. It shifts you from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance. It makes you feel wealthy even before you've achieved your goals. It creates positive momentum. I spend 2 minutes every morning writing down 3 things I'm grateful for. That's it, just 3 things. My health, my family, the opportunity to build something meaningful, whatever feels true in that moment. And those 2 minutes change everything. They shift my mindset from what do I lack to look at what I have. They create a foundation of positivity that carries through the entire day. Now let me tell you what happens when you build your mind every morning consistently. Not just once, not just when you feel like it, but every single day, no matter what. Your mental strength compounds. Just like financial investments grow over time, mental investments grow over time. Every morning you build your mind, you're adding to your mental bank account. At first, the returns seem small. Maybe you feel a little more focused, a little more motivated, a little more clear. But over weeks, months, years, the returns become massive. You become someone with unshakable focus, someone who doesn't get distracted by every notification, every drama, every shiny object, someone who knows what they want and moves toward it consistently. You become someone with incredible mental resilience. When challenges come, when setbacks happen, when things go wrong, you don't crumble, you don't panic, you handle it, because you've been building mental strength every single morning. You become someone who operates from a place of power instead of reaction. You're not being tossed around by whatever happens to you. You're creating what happens to you. You're in control. And here's what's amazing. This doesn't require hours. This doesn't require perfect conditions. This doesn't require waking up at 4 in the morning or having some elaborate routine. This requires 1 hour. Just 1 hour every morning where you're intentional about building your mind instead of letting it be destroyed. 1 hour to not touch your phone. Feed your mind positive, empowering, educational input. Move your body, set your intentions, and practice gratitude. That's it. 1 hour. And if 1 hour seems like too much, start with 30 minutes. If 30 minutes seems like too much, start with 15. The amount of time matters less than the consistency. Building your mind for 15 minutes every single morning will transform your life more than building it for 2 hours once a week. Because it's the daily practice that creates the transformation. It's the repeated action that rewires your brain. It's the consistent discipline that builds the mental strength you need to achieve extraordinary things. Let me tell you what will happen if you don't do this. If you keep starting your day the way most people start their day. If you keep reaching for your phone, letting the world program your mind, reacting instead of creating, you will stay exactly where you are. Your life won't change, your circumstances won't improve, you'll keep feeling overwhelmed, anxious, stuck, frustrated, because you can't create an extraordinary life from an ordinary mind. And you can't build an extraordinary mind if you're not building it intentionally every single day. The people who achieve great things aren't just lucky, they're not just talented, they're not just in the right place at the right time. They're mentally strong. They have clarity, they have focus, they have discipline, they have the ability to control their thoughts, their emotions, their actions. And they have those things because they built them every single morning, day after day after day. While everyone else was scrolling and reacting and letting their minds be filled with garbage, they were building. They were programming themselves for success. They were creating the mental foundation that everything else builds on. So here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't reach for your phone, don't check social media, don't dive into emails, don't react to the world. Build your mind first. Spend 1 hour or 30 minutes or even just 15 minutes doing these things. Keep your phone away. Read something that empowers you, move your body, set your 3 priorities for the day. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Just do that for 1 morning and notice how you feel. Notice your focus, notice your energy, notice your clarity. And then do it again the next morning, and the morning after that, and the morning after that. Make it a non-negotiable part of your life. Make it as important as breathing. Because in a very real sense, it is. You're not just building your mind, you're building your life. Because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your mind. And the quality of your mind is determined by what you do with it every single morning. So, let me leave you with this. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep doing what you've been doing. You can keep waking up and immediately giving your mental energy away to your phone, to other people, to distractions. Or you can start building. You can start taking control. You can start programming your mind for success instead of letting it be programmed for mediocrity. The choice is yours, but understand that it is a choice. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're not powerless.
You have complete control over what you do in the first hour of every day. And what you do in that first hour will determine everything that follows, not just for that day, but for your entire life. Because success isn't built in one dramatic moment, it's built in 1,000 small moments, in the choices you make every single morning when no one is watching. Build your mind every morning. Protect that first hour. Make it sacred. Use it to become stronger, clearer, more focused, more capable. Do that consistently, and I promise you your life will change, not overnight, but gradually, powerfully, inevitably. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Treat it that way. Build it every morning, and watch what becomes possible. The first hour of your day is waiting. What are you going to do with it? Build your mind. Build your life, starting tomorrow morning. No excuses, no exceptions, just results.